Good afternoon. We have with us Dr. Aneel Murarka. He runs a successful chemical business in the textile industry. He also does a lot of social work under the aegis of Ample Mission. So we will talk a lot about the Ample Mission, about the work that he does. Good afternoon, Mr. Murarka,
Very good
for
afternoon to you, sir.
speaking with the Week magazine. Sir, you have a very successful chemical business, and now you're doing a lot of social work as well. How did the social work happen? How do you manage your business and social work?
Dada, see, everybody is a kid sometime. I was also a kid in my school days, then college. College ke dauran, it was like when you were the general secretary of your college, you started feeling the lack of finance. For college activities, there is nobody to come forward to promote social activities. And I've always believed right from those days that there is a lot of talent within the youth. The youth of today is much more faster than what we were. That thought put something in me. If I can do something towards this youth power, why not promote them for social activities?
Right.
वो एक वो कैटलिस्ट उस टाइम कहीं दिमाग में बैठ गया कि भाई once you are established somewhere in business, try and do something towards society, towards this powerhouse, the youth of today. This is how it started initially.
Okay. So Mr. Murarka, how do you manage between the business and social work? What comes first? Does the business come first or the social work come first?
For me, I'm trying to surely balance business and social activities, what you call it philanthropy. But at home, when I look back, while I'm talking to you, my son, my wife, my father, they feel for me, philanthropy is priority, business is later. I don't know what makes them feel that, but honestly speaking, I'm trying to balance.
Okay. Could you tell us more about the kind of work or the kind of philanthropy that you do under your Ample mission?
There are a couple of things we have tried to be doing towards mankind. Before Ample Mission came in, we have our family trust. It's called Samarpan, CB Murarka Charitable Trust.
Okay.
There have been major projects what we were able to complete. To give you an upfront example, there's a crematorium in Bombay, in Goregaon. I term Goregaon as a small village because I hail from that place. So there we had the privilege of constructing a crematorium there. Then Ample Mission has come in format about 10 years back. I was doing something or the other right from my college days, which I just mentioned to you. When my son started growing a little, he popped up with the idea, Papa, you are doing various things. Why not do it under one umbrella? Then that is the moment when this social enterprise called Ample Mission was formatted. We fill potholes, we distribute sanitary pads, we do something towards providing electricity in small villages. There are areas where we have tried to give a different name to that concept. It's called Lift Karade. Lift Karade is a concept where we try to create ramps. Ramps is mandatory by the government, but there are so many places, schools, colleges, where there are no ramps yet until today. We have tried to construct ramps for the specially abled. Then there's a concept called Dhodala, the a Clean India movement, what we call it.
Correct.
वहाँ we try to go to small villages, small those hutments throughout Bombay precisely. Try to educate the youth कि how important is washing of hands. Try and give them a soap bar, provide them with two small napkins, and tell them to carry that back home and educate their parents as well. All different types of silly things we have been trying to do.
Now, you talked about doing small things, but which make a lot of difference, like filling potholes is something you talked about. You talked about the crematorium that you have set up in Goregaon. Now, all these things typically, is part of what a government should be doing. So, in your efforts that you do, how much has the government been helpful in what you're doing, or was there? Tell us more about how is this working relationship.
The, the see, we have never approached the government. I will never say that. I will not blame the government. To be honest with you, uh, the idea was to do something to the best of our abilities, whatever we can. I would be glad if the government comes forward, if they look at our initiatives, they think we are trying to do something better for society. But the current scenario, if you look at now, the elections coming up, for example, the member of parliament elections coming up, we somewhere have a stigma in mind that an MP elected will do wonders for us. It's not really so. The member of parliament is a face for the central government that we need to understand, or rather, we need to educate the masses at large. That is a face for the central government which will represent our country throughout the globe. What is more focused towards this is the corporation seats, the MLA seats, who really do something towards the local people for the local vicinity. Right candidates to be elected with the right format is very important. And that is what will probably take the nation forward. अगर मैं आपको एक दो लाइन हिंदी में बोलूं, हम एक उस दौर में जी रहे हैं कि बस जो एक पार्टी बोल रही है या कुछ बोल रहा है उसको वोट दे दो बस. Let's understand what the individual is all about. How much would that individual do towards society? That's more important. So, of course, if the government comes forward, lending a helping hand to us, I'll be all the more happy.
Murarka ji, today we have a thriving ecosystem of businesses. We have a very strong startup culture as well. Now, from your perspective, how much is philanthropy or social work equally important, and how should businesses inculcate that, working along with their businesses that they do?
That's a very valid question. आज of late, there's something called CSR. CSR has been now been introduced a few years back. The fact is, if there is something in your education syllabus where we need to make the youth of today understand how important is giving back to society, it will make wonders. As I mentioned, the youth of today is a powerhouse. If guided on the right track, they can do wonders for sure. They have that killing instinct in them to do something towards mankind. But they need to be directed. And if something is in the syllabus, probably will create an impact for sure. The fact is, before we leave the world, we all should take a pledge to do something towards mankind. Try and give back. आज आपको दिया समाज नहीं है, आपको समाज को ही वापस देना है. आप लेके साथ में कुछ नहीं जाते हो, जाने वाला खाली हाथ ही जाता है. That's a brutal fact of life. We need to understand, make the youth understand. This country will be a fantastic country to live in.
Mr. Murarka, you talked about some of the initiatives that you have taken, some of the work that you have done as a part of Ample Mission as well as your family foundation. Now, if you look at, the future, 10 years, 20 years, what is the goal that you have? What are the initiatives that you think you want to do?
Every initiative is very close to your heart. But if you ask me as an individual, एक आम आदमी की हैसियत से अगर मैं कुछ आपके सामने इजहार करूं, one thing what comes to my mind is We should have nobody sleeping in the night without food. That's a true fact. मैं बोलता हूँ जिस दिन इस वतन में कोई भूखा नहीं सोएगा ना, जीडीपी अपने आप सुधर जाएगी. We need to take a call on that. There are all big talks going on. ये राशन फ्री दिया, ये किया. But there are so many people still on the streets who live without food. We need to understand and take that forward.
Now, as they say, you have donned many hats from running a business to running philanthropic organizations. You have also been a producer and you do a lot of short films as well. Tell us something about, that side of your work where you do a lot of short films that you have done have been towards, promoting some social cause.
We have been doing short films for sure. As you rightly said, they only give you a social message. The idea was to appeal the masses. To be honest, if Anil Murarka talks something, nobody will listen to him. So, how to reach out to the masses was the Bollywood faces. Because when they talk something, it hits the masses. So, whatever films we made, we have taken the Bollywood people, humbly requesting them to come forward with us, and they were good enough. With due respect to you, there are a couple of faces who have not taken anything from me for the social cause or social thought or social message. But if this can be adapted even by them at large, it will make a great significance. The whole thought is एक जागरूकता फैलाना within our masses. It's important because जिस दिन समाज जाग जाएगा ना, जैसे look at the political scenario right now. People are smart enough to cast a vote. Why can't you be smart enough to understand what human needs are? हम सबको रोटी कपड़ा मकान बेसिक नीड्स है, सबको चाहिए. हम अगर गांठ बांध लें कि अगर हम कुछ कर रहे हैं और एक सामाजिक तौर पे हम दूसरों को भी करके दे सकते हैं, it's as sweet and simple as that. A small man like Anil Murarka, if I can do something for mankind, there are big daddies here in cities of Bombay and the other metro cities. They can do working wonders out there. It's just that spark within them to take something forward.
That's very great, Mr. Murarka. But would you continue to do that in the future as well? Talking about the short films, sort of.
Definitely, sir. We are again working on two, three projects. Right now, we are working on a cervical cancer.
Okay.
We are working on that very shortly. Within about maybe about 15 days from now, we will be releasing that film also. So, see, cancer, for example, if detected early, it is curable.
Yes.
But that awareness has to be brought in. That's what we are trying to do. Talking about cancer, we have made some films on breast cancer awareness,
Okay.
and it's been done very well. As I said, it's that awareness within us, the masses, which has to be taken up. Short films, if you rightly said, yes, I stand committed. This will be an ongoing process for sure.
And Mr. Murarka, you have also done some awards. You did some for the martyrs of the armed forces as well. What was the thought process behind that?
See, as I said, the government is doing its best possible.
Right.
With due respect to the government, there are people who say सरकार ने ये नहीं किया, सरकार ने वो नहीं किया, बट सरकार क्या क्या कर रही है उसका कोई नहीं बात करता है. तो there are so many unsung heroes of life where the government cannot reach everywhere. We try to hunt those faces, bring them to a common platform, and honor those faces. I am nobody to honor them, but my thought behind it to give them that upliftment that you are required in society, and the work what you are doing is phenomenal. That's what was there in mind, and I am glad to the Almighty that we have taken it forward. It's doing very well.
So Any specific areas that you are working on right now?
There are two, three aspects. There are three awards which we do every
Okay.
year. One, we call it Awards Zindagi Ke. These are for those armed forces, the police, the fire department, the navy, the army, the coast guard, and so on. As I mentioned, the unsung heroes of life. They have done fantastic work, but it has gone unnoticed. We hunt for those faces within this department and then gather them there at a platform and honor them. That's one aspect. The other one is called Bharat Prerna Awards. That's for the specially abled. There are Paralympic ocean swimmers, there are cyclists, wonderful people around,
True.
Again, gathering them, talking about them, and between, to be honest with you today, when I'm talking about a Paralympic ocean swimmer, the man talking to you right now, मुझे एक स्विमिंग पूल में उतरने में डर लगता है मेरे को. And this man is a Paralympic ocean swimmer,
Yeah.
international swimmer. Amazing. And
Indeed. Indeed.
nobody knows them. So try to give them a platform. Let the masses know that yes, these are those faces who are those heroes of life. We keep cribbing, grumbling, howling about मेरे पास ये नहीं है, मेरे पास वो नहीं है. Have we really looked at whatever we have? We are blessed. The fact is, we are in the human race. Blessed souls we are.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest. Let's be thankful to the Almighty.
True.
Let's be thankful to our parents. Wherever we stand, we are happy to the utmost. But we want to quibble about it. These faces, when you look at them, when you talk to them, when we have these shows coming up, people sitting in the audience, they have goosebumps when we talk about them.
Yes.
And I'm saying, forget the auditorium. Carry those thoughts back home. You will do wonders for life. The third format is, we call it the Shurveer Awards. It's for a common man. It can be me, it can be you, who is doing something for society. And we take it forward.
Okay. Very good initiative, Mr. Murarka. Now, we everybody talks about the demographic dividend that India has. We talk about, the burgeoning youth population that we have. Now, from your perspective, what is the advice that you would want to give it to them in terms of, philanthropy or social work, and what individual should do to, so that he is prospering, his community is prospering, and in the end, the country is prospering as well.
Honesty is the biggest factor of life. Be honest to yourself. Fag end of the day, talk to yourself for 5 minutes. Okay, throughout the day, what did you do? And did you do something towards mankind? I'm just saying, out of the 24 hours we have, 5 minutes, think about the nation at large. What are you doing towards mankind? What is your role towards the nation? You will get your answer. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not boasting about it. I'm not showing off. I'm trying to express what I'm doing. I've tried to do the same thing with my son, and I'm so glad he has adapted it so successfully. He is part of me now, and I'm ensuring you, today I'm talking to you right now, in the years to come, he will replace this man in totality.
All right, Mr. Murarka, that was a wonderful, thought-provoking interaction that we had. You gave a lot of insights on your philanthropic work and what ideally, we keep blaming others for not doing stuff. And when it is that you choose to do it yourself, you can make a lot of difference.
It is a
Thank you,
fact, sir. It's
Mr.
a fact.
Murarka.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so much
so
for
much.
having me here. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Mr. Murarka.